Alright, so if you're new to this stream, basically it's just me sitting here playing some, noodling, nothing serious, and then I answer any questions that might pop up. Let's see. Now, if you're not a member of the practice room forum / community lesson library thing, you should sign up. It's very inexpensive because it's free. I'm gonna put the link here in the chat. There we go. Hey, Amy. Hey, Chris. It's Friday, so it's beer time. Just a short stream before the weekend. Hope you're good as well, man. Did you join the practice room, Chris? Because I know you're into Yngwie, and I posted an Yngwie interview there. Like an old, it's an old interview. Well, obviously since it's out already, so it has to be old. But it's from like early '80s, before he went solo, actually. And the cool thing is that it's not just the interview; it's the journalist recorded the interview, as they do, so you can hear him sitting there noodling in the background, even playing some Far Beyond the Sun. Did you check that out? I think an Yngwie interview from '84 or something. Audio quality is kind of weird, but actually it's alright, but it's some weird going on in the audio, but you can hear his guitar quite clearly, and it's terrifying. But there's been a few of those, but some of them is just him talking. But in this case, he's actually jamming. Is he? I'm pretty sure he was home, because he starts bringing out a lot of stuff. I don't think that's the one. Might be, but I don't think so. If you could link to the one you're... Hey Magnus, nice to see you, man. If you could link to the one that you're talking about, maybe I missed some. Just amazed sometimes with the stuff that's out there with, you know, your guitar heroes that's on tape that someone just recorded on fucking dictaphone. Should be released for everyone. Anyway, I'm just here to answer some questions, so the more questions the better, the less shitty noodling from me. So, Chris, which can you tell me the name? Yeah, you can't post links, can you? Can you tell me the name of the channel where you saw that interview? Just a mom. I know what you mean, but it looks funny. Just a mom. So what you're practicing now, Magnus? Yeah, I can show how to do stuff. Depends on what stuff, though. Actually, it should be a bear symbol now. Nice. What else? That's like half an hour. I know you practice more than half an hour. Hey, Shohar. There we go. A note sequence loop. You have to be a bit more specific than that, so I know what you mean. Plans for the weekend. Stream for Practice Room Pro tomorrow instead of Sunday, because Sunday we're going away to there's this great spa place thingy that we go to once a year. So that's gonna be nice. Yngwie backstage rare. How long is it though? Hold on. I need to find this. Da, da, da. No, I don't think this is it. This one is 5 minutes to begin with, but also this I think is done in Japan. Nice. San Diego, isn't that the whale's vagina, according to Anchorman? Let's see. Loop to practice alternate picking speed. Well, again, that depends. There's so many loops you can do. I mean, you can do just a pentatonic thing. You can do more of a 3-loop a string thing, and within those categories, there's so many. So it's kind of like going to the gym and say like, hey, give me exercise to get stronger. It depends on what you want to get better at, specifically. But whatever you practice, though, I recommend sitting as many reps as you can do perfectly. So, sorry to hear that, Magnus. You have a cold? Yeah, he is. I'm gonna link to the post. I mean, and let's see. Boom, boom, boom. The practice loom. There we go. There we go. Yeah, need to work on that unit we go out Oh, that sucks, man. Blisters on the back. What's the name in Swedish? And whatever you say, I'm gonna say, oh, that's bubonic plague in English. Oh, ouch. Let's see. Oh, shingles. It's called. Yeah. Absolutely understand you don't want to practice. So BWS, if you're still here, could you be more specific what type of picking you have problems with? As in like 2 notes per string, 3 notes per string, whatever. Music Dara. Hey man. What's your name? 'Cause I don't remember, I don't recognize the username here. Come on, guys. I think you have some questions. I'm pretty sure. Didn't miss much. Come on. Nice to see you, though. Half steps, but it needs to be, it's not any old half step, because if I'm in the key of D, this half step, or it can be a bit too much, right? But if I go, we get that minor third and ninth second. Context is everything, right? Yeah, I think it's a really cool interview. I do think Steve Rosen is a bit weird though, because he got really, apparently he got really upset that Yngwie didn't know who Jeff Beck. Yngwie said he knew who Jeff Beck was, but hadn't heard him, and that's not. It took me years to listen to Jeff Beck. I knew about him, but I didn't hear him, and I think especially like Yngwie in the early '80s. It wasn't like you could go on Spotify or YouTube, you have to buy the record. And Steve Rosen said in an interview that I saw where he said like, well, I used to ask people if they've heard Jeff Beck, and I could tell a lot about a person if whatever the response was. It's like, what a weird, just because you love Jeff Beck, you can't be like judging people if they don't like him. And Yngwie didn't say that he didn't like him. He just said he hadn't heard him, but he knew about him. So it's such a weird thing to get a hang up over. Anyway. Actually, it was to the point where Yngwie cuts his finger somehow really deeply, and he said like, yeah, that was karma because, you know, he didn't like Jeff Beck. Like, what? What? Good interview otherwise, but it was a bit weird, I think, to have put that much, you know, weight into a reply about a player just because you happen to love him. Then again, you see like on Matteo Mancuso play some amazing shit, and then like, yeah, well, David Gilmour could do this, but he just chooses not to. So we have some weirdos out there. David Gilmour is really good at being David Gilmour. He doesn't need to do anything else than that. So it's so weird to be like, yeah, my hero could do everything, but he just doesn't want to. I just think it's, you know, when you do all caps, I always read it as someone shouting, okay, let's discuss about all, yeah, let's discuss about a career in music. I mean, how difficult or easy is in there? It's probably not great right now. And I've never gone after being in a band and doing all that stuff. Well, I did early on, but I was like, nah, it's not for me. Very happy being a bedroom guitar player. But I do think it's tricky as fuck, especially now with the AI stuff. Good thing though is that the more AI music that comes out, the more people want to see real people play live. So for live musicians, I think it's probably going to be a great thing. But, you know, I know Jeff Beck was cool and he has such a huge following. But it was... No, yeah, Jeff Beck is amazing, but it's not about that. It's just judging someone just because they haven't listened to your Guitar Hero. It's like weird. Never understood the whole thing with like when people get so attached to a player that because that player exists, you need to put down other players. It's not like having a sports team. Let's say you love Arsenal or whatever, and then they play some other team, then you're gonna root for your team, right? But if you love David Gilmour, but you also love Steve Vai, that's okay. You don't need, they're not gonna fight. You know, you can listen to both. You don't need to root for, one doesn't affect the other in terms of like, Well, when Steve Vai released that record, he really gave it to David Gilmour, didn't he? No. So just enjoy it all. So it's so weird tribal thinking. Yeah, but I think this Blackmore thing, I've never heard like, some people say like, oh, it's just like Blackmore. I don't think he sounds like Blackmore at all. It's way closer to Uli John Roth and Demiola and whatever. And you know, Yngwie definitely has an ego. So yeah, but it only affects yourself. You're not gonna convince anyone. Sure, like if you're like, oh, David Gilmour, he's much better than so and so. Okay, no one's gonna care. They're not gonna stop listening to Joe Bonamassa or whoever. Hey, Jelly. I mean, like what you like, and you don't need to listen to the stuff that you don't like. I mean, most things that I hear online or whatever, I don't like, but I don't feel like I have to have an opinion about it. And like, I need to let this guy know that he sucks. And also, it's music after all, right? So someone that you might think sucks balls, someone else might think is the best thing ever. And you're both right. So it's such a pointless argument. Yeah, but he's earned that. It's up to him if he wants to buy guitars for stupid money, right? It doesn't affect me, and I don't feel like he should give that to charity. No, he can do whatever he wants with his money. So yeah, but I think it's just those instruments have such history. So I think that makes it a difference. And yeah, it's all in the hands. Well, mostly in the hands at least, because a good player will sound good on pretty much any instrument. I mean, if it's total out of tune and not intonated, it's gonna be more difficult. But it's not really the gear, but. But I mean, this is just my opinion, Chris. It's not like, someone can agree with me or not. I don't really care, but I just don't get the amount of brain power that gets wasted on this shit. Yeah, I bet you have a black light, Char. You're like, To be honest, that's why I like new guitars. And also, sometimes if I go to a guitar store and I try the guitar, you're like, ugh, people wash their hands ever. It's let's see. Some actual American IPA. And it's good. I'm not a big fan of just beer. It needs to be something like this. My brother-in-law, who I love, calls it, for whatever reason, grandma's undercrackers. He feels it smells like weird perfume, he thinks. He can only drink like Peroni and stuff like that. So yeah, but most IPAs you never heard of, because it's all these fucking tiny craft beer breweries where I think it's hilarious though, because I've seen so many like Instagram reels about taking the piss out of people who do this stuff, and like people out in the woods making their new craft beer, like pine cones and, you know, squirrel droppings. And also, to be clear, it's actually 5:49 here on a Friday, so before anyone gets out like, hey, can't be drinking now. Well, I think it's gonna be a lot of... Some of my favorite IPAs are from England, so, and some Swedish as well. So I mean, it's just hoppier beer, and it just tastes a bit more. Would it surprise me if you get flagged because you show an alcoholic beverage in the stream? Greta Thunberg will be like, how dare you? People do. I don't, because it's illegal here. And I don't say I don't because I'm like, ooh, can't say that, right? When I grew up, and I'm born in '78, you had people going around schools and saying like, weed is a gateway drug. If you smoke weed once, you're gonna, you know, wake up with a needle in your arm. Basically, scaremongering. So I didn't try any type of weed until when I went to New York the first time. Actually, the only time I've been there. And I tried an edible, and I didn't read the label properly, so I took too much, and I had a fucking horrible trip. So I'm not a huge weed fan, but that's on me. That I fucked it up. They're probably fine. Oh, but you don't know with YouTube, they were very strange. Yeah, I actually, in Sweden, at least when I grew up, it was like, if you drink one drop during the week, you're an alcoholic in people's eyes. But then getting totally smashed on a Friday and Saturday, that was like, yep, that's what you do. Even though the total volume might be more than if you just had a, you know, glass of wine with dinner. So, but I got really drunk when I was 14. And I puked like a motherfucker, and I felt really bad, and I didn't touch anything until I was 18, which is the legal drinking age when you can go to like a pub or whatever in Sweden and have a drink. So yeah, well, to me that was great. The first exercise in Rock Discipline, the string skipping one. No, you mean the... that thing. Also, I think that's probably a good idea, Shahar, because especially with weed, they say that you should not touch that shit before your brain is done braining, before your brain has grown. And also, yeah, so I think that's probably a good idea. Now the whole weed thing for me was like, oof, was really strange. Was not something that I enjoyed. Yeah, it's a pretty cool one, but you know, I think anything you do with. I didn't do that one much. I always felt weird working on that stuff, but because I was like, well, I'd rather work on that with actual notes. I can work on the synchronization, but there's definitely something to be gained from just doing the right hand. Don't you leave the weed discussion, Char. No, sorry. Sorry, unrelated, but if you haven't seen The Substance, don't. Really fucking gross. The Substance. Is a documentary or is it a horror movie? It's vaguely familiar. The Substance. Oh, it's a film. Okay. Oh, it's that not Vinnie Moore. Oh my god, Demi Moore thing. So it's not a good movie either. It's just gross. I mean, I'm not that squeamish, but one movie that I've stayed away from is the Human Centipede. Nope. It's not like a thing of like a Ozempic type of thing that they're doing. Like, what is the sub? Or is it some what do they call it? Adrenochrome, blood of babies, whatever that whole conspiracy theory thing. I find it tough going back from the first string downstroke to the third string upstroke. As you do when you do one note per string, you mean? I think if you try this. So basically planting, so you go. So I'm never striking the string from the air, so to speak. I'm always on the string. So now I'm waiting here, waiting here. That helps a lot. It's not even rest stroke. Rest stroke would be when you do sweeping, when you fall to the next string, because it comes from this thing. You sort of follow through on the string. But this is also a classical guitar technique, so. My most disturbing thing was Last of Us Season 2. Holy shit, they fucked that up. The game, which one is that? Blasphemous? No, The Last of Us. Not Blasphemous. The Last of Us Season 2 was crap. I think she was a good Ellie in the first one, but in the second one it felt like some weird Gilmore Girls thing almost. Because and I don't care about the lesbian whatever. People can do whatever they want, and I don't care about that at all. But it was just it didn't feel like there was any danger there. They were walking around in these great production values, and it looked really good, but it felt so, oh, we have to be really quiet now, and then like they just go around and talk about their relationship. That's actually was my nickname in school, Chris. Mayor spoiler. No, I am not gonna spoil anything. I didn't finish it because I was like I totally lost interest because it felt so. Yeah, Gilmore Girls in the apocalypse. So. Also, she went from like, yeah, I have to go and avenge someone, and then then she just one scene she can be like totally la 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 la, nothing is happening here, and it's just weird. I don't understand it. Very strange. And I loved the first season, so. Yeah, planting is awesome for any type of stuff. Silk Song, nah, I never played that. Is that the like Metroidvania type of game? No, yeah, he's great, but yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. I'm getting a bit of Pedro Pascal fatigue though, because he's in everything. Oh yeah, exactly. Now I'm not touching my consoles until GTA 6 comes out. And they better not have fucked that up. The trailers look good though for GTA 6, and someone said or theorized that why it took so long is that when they kicked off the main writers, it went in a bit of a woke direction, and that doesn't work because GTA needs to be, shitting on everyone, left, right, center. No one should be safe. You can't have a game where it's like virtue signaling, especially not GTA. It should be shitting on everyone equally. Otherwise, it's just weird. I wouldn't want a GTA either. It's like, oh yeah, woo, right-wing stuff, great. It's just about, it should be equal opportunity shit talk, basically. But I think they realize that, and hopefully. And it looks amazing from what you can see in like the trailers. But also, as they always do, they're probably going to be delayed even more. Alright, no more questions. I'm gonna go and have a Friday with my wife. What I meant to ask the other day, did your jobs come together during GOT? something happened there for sure, because I've been practicing so much. I was super scared of making any mistakes, and I had some good friends there that were way further ahead than me, and we had some jams, and they were like, "Oh, you're playing so clean. You pushed the speed a little bit," and then I did that, and so I sort of let go a bit of the. It's hard to explain, but I dared to like try going for it, and that really helped a lot. But I wouldn't. I've worked on so many things after that, so I wouldn't say like, yeah, after GIT I was good, but definitely a big bump there. But you know, I'm not done now either, so never ends. But saying that as well, I went to GIT when I was 16. It's about the same year I was turning 17. So I hadn't played guitar for more than like 2.5 years or something. So it would be weird if all my technique was just together at that time. So yeah, I have to check out that game if I dare, so I don't get stuck in it. All right, have a good one, everyone. See you. Actually, you probably won't see me tomorrow because I'm going to stream in the Practice Room Pro. But yeah.